Hello and welcome to Webster's Anthology. This is the show where we take speech and music and literature and all sorts of other audible things and smush them together into a massive collage of a certain topic each week. Now, this week we're going to be going heavy on the music as we're doing a week looking at Van Morrison. Now, there is a reason behind this. In a few weeks' time, my family and I are going over to Ireland to see him live, and we're all very excited, but we also realise he has a massive discography. Oh dear, that word. Discography? Yeah, discography. He's very prolific as an artist, and so there's a lot of music to get through if you want to make sure that we're fully swatted up for this occasion. And so I thought I'd go through what I can find on Spotify of his music, which is a lot of music, and find my favourites, find a little bit from each section of his music, and put them together so that we can prepare together for this occasion, which is very exciting. It's sort of the start of the holiday. So to kick us off, we've got Brown Eyed Girl. Now, which button am I looking for? Ah! There we go.
Jumping in the misty morning fog with our hearts thumping and you, a brown-eyed girl. And you, my brown-eyed girl. And whatever happened to Tuesday, it's so slow.
That was Brown Eyed Girl. Now, that was one of the songs that I feel like I knew well as a child. I'm sure it must have been on some compilation album somewhere that we had. Next up, we're going to have He Ain't Give You None, which is one that I hadn't heard until I looked up all of this music. Now, you might like to know that we're going to do this in chronological... Today is not a good day for long words. We're going to be doing this in chronological order. So we're starting here at, I believe, 1967, which is when Van Morrison released his first album just by himself. Before that, he was in a band called Them, which unfortunately we're not going to be listening to today because I only found out that he was in it this morning. But he moved on to release his own albums. But what I read was that Brown Eyed Girl and also Moondance, which are... Oh no, I may have got that wrong. I think it was Moondance and Bright Side of the Road were actually done under duress. So he was put in a room and told to write the lyrics for them, come up with these songs. So although maybe they're some of our favourites, they're perhaps not some of his, which I think is quite interesting, how there's a lot behind the scenes that you don't know. And actually that's a key feature of Van Morrison. He's very, very stepped back from the celebrity culture. He's almost an anti-celebrity. He doesn't want that. He seems, both in his songs and in what we see in public life, to not want any of the fame. He just wants to sing and produce music and for people to enjoy it. So anyway, I hope that's what you'll be doing today. Here you go. He ain't give you none.
Little girl, Lord, you know it's true. Little girl, Lord, you know it's true. I don't wanna stop rocking and rolling with you. Are you gonna let me stand alone? Are you gonna let me stand alone? Caught you this morning before your daddy came home, and I done more for you than your daddy has ever done. I done more for you than your daddy has ever done. Give you my jelly roll, and she ain't give you none. Let's go, Eric. Street. It's bad. Don't you ever go down on Curzon Street. That's where old John flogs his daily meat. Maybe sometime they say leave a little boy and the girl behind. I got messed up round somewhere called Notting Hill Gate. I lived there for a while, but I moved out. And when I moved out, I was in such a state. I never gone back there, but I'm I'm sure I did more for you than your daddy has ever done, baby. Made you learn your syllables. Done more for you than your daddy has ever done. Oh Lord. Give you my jelly roll. She ain't give you none. Stay on the move. In the back street, I give you my jelly roll. Oh, I give it to you.
Now, I don't know if there's a word for this in the music world, but in art there's something called negative space, where in a picture you might have the main subject and so on, but then there's also the gaps where there isn't anything, and they can play quite an important part. And I think for the majority of Van Morrison's work, there isn't so much of that negative space. His music's very full, it's very much, there's always something for your ears to be hearing. But this next song is called Domino, and I think it plays with the negative space really nicely, with the gaps needing as much as the, what do you call them? The notes. Here we go.
Change. You may get disgusted, start thinking that I'm strange. That kids are going to ground, get some heavy rest. Never have to worry about what is worse or what is best. Get it. Oh, Domino. Didn't call. Oh, vice versa. That depends on whatever you're at. And if you never hear from me, that just means I would rather not. Oh, Domino, alright. Romeo, there you go. Lord have mercy. I said, oh, Domino.
This is Jackie Wilson said.
Jackie Wilson said, it was written to you. Kind of love you got, knock me off my feet. Let it all hang. Oh, let it all hang. And you know, I'm so wired up.
quite unique about the way that Van Morrison works is the extent to which he reworks old songs again and again. And you can see this especially in the fact that many of his albums, when you look through a track list, they've got all the songs, and then they've got maybe half of them at least in alternative takes that he's done. So he really does, he doesn't want to just go for one finished product. He's constantly changing and evolving and growing the repertoire that he already has. So what we're listening to now is Cul-de-sac, the alternative take. And I especially wanted to play this one because I think it shows his vocal range and the ease with which he uses his voice. Here we go.
Relax yourself and hide away. I'll travel far, near a star, my Palomar. Who you know is what you are, and who you are, and when they all go home down the cobblestones, you can double back to a cul-de-sac. You can double back to a cul-de-sac. Back to a cul-de-sac. We've been lovers once again on the bright side of the road.
talking about things that are bright, I am currently wearing, I actually put it on especially during that song because it's a bit warm here in the studio, but I'm currently wearing my rainbow coloured shawl that I crocheted over the exam time to help me with stress. But it wasn't until I finished crocheting it that I realised how timely it was to have done it, because it's actually currently Pride Month. I believe that's the reason why here in the studio we've got the Raw logo. It's been changed to like rainbow colours all the way through. It's very pretty. And there's a lot of things going on Raw, especially on the like, what would you call them? The like branded, the programmes that are like, I don't know how to say it, like BBC News, but the Raw version. On those programmes especially, there's a lot of Pride-themed things to celebrate the struggles that our LGBT plus community has overcome and sort of show our solidarity with them. So that's why I'm wearing the shawl right now and about to take it off. Not to show that I'm removing that, but just because it's really warm. But anyway, yeah, we've got a special advert for this. I haven't actually listened to this in advance, so I'm quite excited about what it says. Here we go.
From the 5th to the 14th of June, Raw will be covering all things Pride.
Throughout the week, we will have specialist sports, arts, news, speech and music shows.
Tackling LGBT issues and looking at the impact of public policy on the LGBT community.
We will also have a specially created playlist full of LGBT anthems.
To find out more, follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.
Or go to radio.warwick.ac.uk
For a full schedule of Raw's coverage of Pride.
This is your student radio station.
This is Raw 12:51 AM.
Right, now I'm just going to stick on the rest of the ads, so go make a cup of tea. You've got 21 plus 26 plus 14 seconds. Go, go, go.
Raw Breakfast, the feel-good way to start your day. This is Breakfast Radio for Warwick students by Warwick students, playing the feel-good hits and brightening up your morning. Plus, we have the best gaps, games and giveaways to freshen up your stagecoach commute. Listen to Raw Breakfast every day from 8 a.m.
Looking for a bite to eat in Warwick SU?
Whether it's bistro-style eating or daily specials at Shana's.
Party pub grub and real ale at the Dirty Duck.
Salad and sarnies to go in the bread oven.
Or coffee and a catch-up at Curiosity.
We've got something to suit every taste and any budget.
And if you've got a big night ahead at the Copper Rooms,
start it right at the Terrace Bar and our expertly stocked bar overlooking the piazza.
The Warwick SU outlets, there's something to satisfy every craving.
Fancy cheap tickets, classic films, independent films, and the latest blockbusters. Experience in film direction or the chance to join a great fantastic team and see movies for free. Then join Warwick Students in Month today. Go to filmsoft.warwick.ac.uk.
And we're back. We just listened to Bright Side of the Road. This week we're listening to all things Van Morrison, and we've got a lot of playlists to get through still. So I'm going to stick on the next one with no further ado. It's called Angelou.
In the month of May, in the city of Paris, in the month of May, in the and the bells are ringing in the month of May. And I call out your name in the city of Paris in the month of May. In the city of Paris, oh, in the month of May, in the city of Paris, Angelou, 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 oh my Angelou, Angelou, oh my Angelou, can you hear me? Walking on a city street, who would think you could ever be touched by a total stranger? Oh, not me. Oh, when you come up to me that day, and I'll listen to your story. It reminded me so much of myself. When I listened to you, it wasn't what you said. It was just the way that it felt to me. As I listen to your story, about a search and a journey somewhere inside. Hey, 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 it's just like mine. What you said? Will you be mine?
Earlier how Van Morrison tends to shy away from celebrity status, but with that there seems to come a certain humanness. He's still one of us, not one of them, as it were, which is ironic given that he was in a band called Them, so he is one of them, but he's also one of us. And I read an anecdote on the Guardian website which I think demonstrates this in a really lovely way. So there was someone called John who was, he was the one telling this anecdote, and he'd been in Bath at an arts festival, and he'd been in a restaurant, and he'd seen Van Morrison eating with someone else, and he'd gone up to him and sort of tried to introduce himself and just say he'd like to shake his hand if possible, and just say thank you for all the good music. And Van Morrison had asked him what his name was, so the guy had replied John. And then a few days later, John had been walking down the street in Bath and seen Van Morrison again. And he'd been on the phone, Van Morrison, but he just looked up, seen the guy, and mouthed, "Hi, John," done a little wave. And so, of course, this guy was over the moon. Not only had Van Morrison shaken his hand and asked after his name, but he'd remembered it. Now, the really exciting part was when they were in a completely different place. John was with his girlfriend, so quite excited to see Van Morrison yet again, and this time, he's moving on to Dweller on the Threshold, and this time with his girlfriend to appreciate the moment too. But the excellent part was that he'd looked over at Van Morrison had looked over at him, and just said quietly again, "Hi, John." And it's just gorgeous that that's the kind of thing that we would do as normal humans, but we don't expect celebrities to do it. And it's just wonderful that someone would bring themselves back down to that level of, yes, you're a human, I'm a human, and we can all say hi to each other. Here we go, Dweller on the Threshold.
I'm a dweller on the threshold. You know, I'm waiting at the door. And I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. Feel the angel of the present. Give the mighty crystal fire. Lift me up into my darkness. Let me travel through the night. I'm a dweller on the threshold. Someday I'll cross the burning ground. Let me go down to the water. What's the great illusion found? I'm a dweller on the threshold. And I'm waiting at the door. And I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. I want to turn and face the music, the music of the spheres. Lift me up into my darkness when the midnight disappears. I will walk out of the darkness, and I walk into the light, and I sing the song of ages. And the dawn will end the night. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door, and I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. I'm a dweller on the threshold. Someday I'll cross the burning ground. Let me go down to the water. What's the great illusion found? I'm a dweller on the threshold. All that trouble, all that grief, that's why I had to leave. Spent away too long is in defeat. While I'm singing this song, while I'm heading back home, that's what makes the Irish heart beat. I'm just like a hobo riding a train. I'm like a gangster living in Spain. Have to watch my back, and I'm running out of time. But I'll roll the dice again. Lady luck will call my name. That's what makes the Irish heart beat. Well, that's what makes it beat. When I'm standing on the street, and I'm standing underneath this Wrigley sign. Oh, so far away from home, but I know I've got to roam. That's what makes the Irish heart beat. heartbeat. Just like a sailor out on the foam, any port in a storm, where we tend to burn the candle at both ends. The corridors of fame, like the spark ignites the flame. That's what makes the Irish heartbeat. Heartbeat, one more time. That's what makes the Irish heartbeat.
That was what makes the Irish heartbeat. And I'm very excited to be seeing Van Morrison returning home to his native Ireland. And now the next song we're going to be listening to is called Rough God Goes Riding, and it's quite exciting because it's from an album full of duets that Van Morrison has done, which when you look through the list of artists, it's like Michael Bublé, someone I don't know that I'm sure my parents know, someone I do know, but I really don't know, like, you know when you know someone's name but you're not sure who they are. There's just so many people, such a massive range, and like in genre and in age, and in famosity, how famous they are. I think it's quite cool how many connections Van Morrison has, how many, I don't know what you call it, like companions, how many partners in crime he has in the music business. But this one specifically is a duet with Shana Morrison, who was the child that Van Morrison had with his first wife, I believe. He had two wives. The first one was his girlfriend who he married to avoid deportation, and then the second one, I believe, wasn't a deportation case again. But anyway, they've both got lovely voices, and it's just really wonderful to hear it, knowing that there's such a connection between them. Here we go.
Oh, the mud splattered victims have to pay all along the ancient highway, torn between half-truth and victimization, fighting back with counterattacks. When that rough guard goes riding, when the rough guard goes gliding, there'll be nobody hiding. When that rough guard was riding on in, riding on in.
I was flabbergasted by the headlines. People in glass houses throwing stones, gaping wounds that will never heal. Now they're moaning like a dog in a manger.
When the rough guard goes riding, when the rough guard goes gliding, there'll be nobody hiding. When that rough guard goes riding on in, riding on in. it's a matter of survival. When you were born with your back against the wall, won't somebody hand me my Bible? Won't you give me that toll-free number to call? When that rough guard goes riding, when that rough guard goes gliding, there'll be nobody hiding. When that rough guard goes riding on in, riding on in, there'll be no more heroes. They'll be reduced down to zero. When that rough guard goes riding, riding on in, riding on in, riding on in, riding on in. Just like Jesse James, riding on in. Just like Bud the Kid, riding on in. Just like Wild Bill, riding on in, riding on in.
This next song is called Miss Otis Regrets, and I really love the way that the story escalates and goes spinning out of control in this, right away from whatever your expectations were at the start. Here we go, Miss Otis Regrets.
Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today, madam. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. She said she's sorry to be delayed, but last night down in Lover's Lane she strayed. Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. But she woke up in the morning, she found that a dream of love was gone. Madam, she ran to the man who had led her so far astray, and from underneath her velvet gown she drew a gun, shot her lover down. Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. they strung her up upon that old weeping, weeping, weeping willow tree. Yeah, from the moment before she died, she lifted up her lovely head and she cried. But for those regrets, she's unable to lunch today. So let's regret, she's unable to make it today. Oh, madam, so let's regrets, oh, let's regrets, so let's regrets. Is unable to play today, madam. So let's regret can't make it today. Can't make it today. Oh, madam. Oh, madam. Well, it's a marvelous night for a Moondance with the stars up above your eyes. For a fabulous night to make a romance neath the cover of October skies. All the leaves on the trees are falling till the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to plead to the calling of your heart-stricken place off the low. Oh, the night's magic seems to whisper and hush. To shine in your blush. Here I just had one more Moondance with you, my love. Here I just make some more romance with you, my love. Well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning has come. And I know now the time is just right. And straight into my arms it will run. When you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. I remember my dream will come true. There and then I'm gonna make you my own. Every time I touch you, you just tremble inside. And I know how much I want you, baby, that can't hide. You lie aside one more Moondance with you, my love. Some more romance with you, my love.
I do hope you've enjoyed this foray into the music of Van Morrison this week and the small amount of information I've been able to provide on his life. This we're listening to now. Currently, we are listening to Moondance. I think this is the most modern one of it that I could find, the most modern rendition. This really is an example of how much songs are reworked. This was one of Van Morrison's earliest works, and yet he's gone back to it time and time again. He actually has 39 or so albums currently, incredibly prolific as an artist. And so, of course, there's an awful lot more depth that there is to go into in his music. So I highly recommend giving it a look yourself and finding what exactly there is in it that you like. I played the adverts earlier, but actually there's another advert I'd like to give of my own. So the LWS Night Shelter in Leamington has shifts to fill each weekend in order to open the night shelter. So there's overnight shifts, breakfast, morning shifts, catering shifts and evening shifts. But this weekend especially, they're on the lookout for more helpers because they're also at the Leamington Peace Festival. They've got a stand there, there's going to be face painting and other activities to see. So if I could ask you to go along there if you're around, or even if you can lend a hand either at the Peace Festival, at the stand, or helping out with the volunteers in the shelter, because there's going to be doubly the number that they need this week to provide for the shelter and for the Peace Festival. Yes, it's going to be an exciting weekend, but I really do hope you can be part of it, supporting the shelter in any way. That's all from me this week. I'm going to leave you with a reading from Psalms, I believe. They're gone. Yes. This is Psalm 23, verses 1, 2, 3. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. My exams finished last week and I'm so excited to be entering this period of restoration and just relaxing finally. And I really hope that you two will go away today and relax and take rest. Yeah, so I'll leave you with the rest of this Moondance and have a good day.
Cover them up to the skies and all the leaves on the tree. Falling, falling, falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. Finally, pleasing the calling of you. I think the